Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Technopark Toastmasters meeting number 36. I am Prakash and will be the sergeant at AMS for today's meeting. Let me go to the rules directly. There are some ground rules which we need to follow during the meeting. Number one, let us not talk about politics, religion, and sex. And mute ourselves if you are not speaking and do not cross talk. With that, let us get into the meeting. Let me now welcome our President, Toastmaster Arathi, to preside over this meeting. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prakash. Good afternoon, my dear fellow Toastmasters. Welcome to the 36th meeting of Technopark Toastmasters. With the power vested in me, let me declare this meeting open. Today, I was just reading up a few quotes, getting ready for the meeting, and I came across this wonderful quote by Jackie Chan. He says, nothing makes him more determined to succeed than someone telling me that something is impossible. If someone tells you it is impossible, then it makes him more determined. And that was the feeling I felt today when we were trying to decide whether this meeting should happen or not. Because we had a tough time finding role players, we had a tough time trying to see if we could make this meeting happen. But then I decided when we feel that this is not going to happen, there's a greater challenge, there's a greater motivation, greater achievement when we try to achieve something. When somebody tells or somebody feels that it's impossible and we set aside to determined to do it, then it gives us greater satisfaction. So with that positive note, let us get into the meeting for today. Today we have a Toastmaster, a new Toastmaster, but a very seasoned professional amongst us. We're really blessed to have Toastmaster Rina as a member because she brings with her around 30 years of experience in IT industry, setting up businesses from scratch. And now she's working with corporates in a trainer mode. And what I like about Rina is that she's always been self-motivated. She's always determined. And she has gone through a lot of challenges. At least I know of a few challenges she faced today. And she's always had that fighting spirit to get over it. With that, let me introduce and welcome onto stage Rina, who is performing her first major role, and she's being the TMOD for the first time. So let's put our hands together and welcome Rina Vivekanandan as the Toastmaster of the day. Welcome, Rina, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arathi. Thank you, Toastmaster Arathi, and all my other fellow Toastmasters. I would like to introduce you to the theme of the day today. Let me just share my screen. Thank you. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
We can.
So the theme of the day today is the power of intention. And I would be talking to you briefly about the book that I read written by Dr. Wayne Dyer. And I would also like to introduce you to the word of the day. The word of the day today is harness. Now, what does harness mean? Harness means to leverage something, usually in order to use its power. So an example is, there is a great deal of interest in harnessing wind and waves as new sources of power. I request all of you to use the word harness in our discussions, in our meeting, and whatever we say today, so that that the people who use it to its maximum will be accoladed. So now I'm going back to the theme of the day. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Okay? Thank you. what is the meaning of intention, intent? Now we hear this word being used every now and then in our daily lives. For example, the CEO expressed her intention to resolve the crisis. George announced his intention to marry in 2022. Or it is not my intention to bore you with mundane details. However, the word intent is not given the weightage it deserves. We do not realize the amount of mental energy that one can harness using the power of intention. I chanced upon this amazing and powerful book, The Power of Intention, written by Dr. Wayne Dyer, while convalescing after a brief illness. The first thing that got my attention was the definition of the word intention. Dr. Dyer said that intention is much greater than a determined ego or individual will. He said it is a force that exists in the universe as an invisible field of energy. This drove me to read the book, which I found fascinating and practical. As I embarked on this paradigm shifting journey, I realized what an arduous task that was. So, here I would like to share an aspect of this book which details the factors that prevent us from connecting to intention. Now, there are three factors. The first one is our thoughts. Our thoughts are very powerful. The Old Testament states, "As a man thinketh, so is he." So, we need to figure out what are the thoughts that prevent us from achieving what we intend to reach. Thinking about what is missing in our lives. Instead of focusing on what is missing, we need to navigate our thoughts to what we want to manifest in our lives. I'll give you an example. Instead of saying, "I'm stuck in my career," say, "I'm reskilling with the intention of growing in my career by harnessing the universal energy to create that reality." Secondly, thinking about the circumstances of our lives. A lot of mental energy is spent complaining about what irritates you about your personal circumstance. Shift your internal talk. Example, when I look in the mirror, I'm horrified to see myself so fat. Instead, say that I'm placing this picture of myself looking healthy and trim and intend to look that way in 6 months, thereby harnessing the universal energy to manifest that intention. Third one, thinking about what always has been. I can't help feeling this way. It is my nature. I'm always like this. Don't think like that. Instead, I intend to substitute love and kindness from the feelings of inadequacy that I have. This will help me leverage the invisible energy of the universe. Finally, thinking about what they want. All of us, we have a list of family, friends, and well-wishers who have strong ideas about what we should be doing, thinking, or how much of time we should be spending with them. Manipulative expectations of others trigger guilt and we are sucked into this vortex. Give you an example. "Oh, I am so annoyed with my family. They have never understood me." Instead, we can think, "I love my family very much. They don't see things the way I do, and I don't expect them to. I am totally focused on my intentions." So these are the 4 different things about thinking that we have that prevents us from reaching our intention. Next is energy. Everything is energy. So how do we increase our energy vibrations? We need to become conscious of our thoughts. We need to be conscious of the food we eat. We need to be conscious of the energy level of the music we listen to. We need to be conscious of the energy levels of our friends, acquaintances, and extended family. Then we need to extend acts of kindness without expecting anything in return. And we need to be very specific when we affirm our intentions. Don't say, I want to lose weight. You need to say, I want to lose 5 kilos in 4 months or 6 months. You need to be very specific. And you always need to hold thoughts of forgiveness. The last but not the least is our sense of self importance. Now, overcoming the ego is no easy task. It's one of the most challenging things. And we can actually overcome our sense of self-importance by stop being offended by others' behavior. Why? Because it creates destructive energy. We want to retaliate, it becomes a vicious circle. And sometimes we let it park in the corner of our mind, allowing it to fester and wound us. Number two, we need to let go of the need to win. Remember, the opposite of winning is not losing. And winning is not possible all the time, because there will always be someone out there who is faster, better, luckier, younger, stronger, and smarter. So we just need to perform at the best of our ability and capture learnings from each experience. Number three, let go of the need to be right always in our discussions, in our relationships. Then let go of the need to be superior. This is very important because we need to be focused on our growth. Be better than what you were yesterday. And we should never assess others on the basis of their appearance, achievements, or possessions. Then let go of the need to want to have more. No matter how much we have, we always want to get a bit more, or some more. And we are always in a perpetual state of wanting. The moment we let go of that need, the transformation starts. Then let us let go of identifying anyone, even ourselves, on the basis of our achievements. We need to be grateful for all the abilities that we have been given, the motivation to achieve, and all the stuff we have accumulated. But be an observer. And finally, let go of your reputation. What is our reputation? Our reputation resides in the minds of others, so we have no control over it. For example, if you're connected with 10 people at work, each and every person will have an opinion about you that might be different. So, with this, I have shared a very short excerpt of the book. I request each and every one of you to read this book, The Power of Intention, by Dr. Wayne Dyer, to harness the universal energy for holistic well-being. Thank you. Now I hand over stage to Toastmaster Shruti. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, Rina. Thank you so much.
I haven't finished introducing you.
Please go ahead.
Shruti is a passionate and enthusiastic Toastmaster who's ever ready to help everybody. Even without asking for help, she volunteers and she tells you what you're supposed to do. She's a VP education of our club and she would never think twice of an opportunity to speak. She loves to mentor young and not so young minds. I hand over the session to you, Shruti. Thank you.
Thank you for that interesting introduction, Toastmaster Rina, and for sharing your thoughts about the power of intentions. I was very intrigued by that, what intentions can do to us if used correctly. Fellow Toastmasters, good afternoon. I stand before you all as the general evaluator for today. My duty is to validate everything and anything that goes on in the session. What all we did correctly, what all we didn't do correctly, and I wish I could harness all my energy to do this. Unfortunately, I cannot do it alone. So I need a team to help me out with the duties and responsibilities for this. And that team is known as tag team. We don't have a grammarian for today. As you already know, Toastmaster Rina introduced word of the day, which is harness. I hope you all remember that word and utilize the word during your speeches. Next is the accounter role. I'm actually coming in the reverse direction. It should be actually timer, accounter, and grammarian, but I'm coming in the reverse direction. Grammarian is already done. Let us go with the accounter. I hand over the control to Toastmaster Prakash, who goes with the mantra little things. Do you all remember that? When he was the Toastmaster of the day, that was the theme, and I love that mantra. Over to you, Toastmaster Prakash.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sruthy, for that introduction. My job is to do the R-counter role. The purpose of R-counter is to look at the filler words and sounds while you speak, which means I'll be looking at words such as and, uh, also I'll be looking at repeated usage of words such as this means. And at the end of the meeting, I'll be presenting my report when called upon. And thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Sruthy.
Thank you, Prakash, for describing the roles and responsibilities of a counter role. Let us move on to the next role, which is timer. And the timer for the day is our dearest VPPR, Lakshmi. I feel so bad that I asked for an introduction about her in WhatsApp because Lakshmi is pretty famous here through her posters. We have all seen that. It's very interesting posters that she shares for our regular sessions. Over to you, Toastmaster Lakshmi. You're on mute. You're on mute, Lakshmi.
That's my favorite line these days. I'm always on mute. Well, thank you so much, Shruti. And sorry that I missed out on your message. Okay, I'm just quickly getting into this. So greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a timer, I would keep the table topics time, the formal speeches and the evaluations. I would also alert each speaker of the time that they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards. So I would basically be changing my background. So for table topics, it is ideally for 2 minutes. So at 1 minute, I would raise the green card. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I would raise the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I would raise the red card. And for icebreaker speeches, I'm not sure if we're having icebreaker speeches today. No, we're not having. For the other speeches, at 5 minutes, I would raise the green card. At 6 minutes, the yellow card. And 7 minutes, the red card. The individual evaluations should be ideally between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I would raise the green cards. It's not basically raising the card, but my background keeps changing. So the speakers, if you could, just have a quick glance at my background, you would know whether you're on time. So that's basically the green, yellow, and red that I'll toggle. And please do keep a note of that. Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi, for beautifully explaining the timer role. And that is my tati because we don't have the G. Now, I will be coming up with the general evaluator report towards the end of the session. That's all from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rina.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shruti, Toastmaster Prakash, and Toastmaster Lakshmi. Now I would like to call upon the table topics master, Toastmaster Arathi. Arathi is known to everyone. She is an avid Toastmaster since 2013 and is a dual member of the Trivandrum Toastmasters Club and is a charter president of the Technopark Toastmasters Club. She is also the area director for Area G1. She is working as a general manager in Suntech, leading the industry product team. And she is also a very enthusiastic and capable leader because those who shy away from the limelight, she has this tendency to walk slowly across to them and bring them back to get them to do what they are supposed to do. So thank you so much for that, Toastmaster Arathi. I hand over the session to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Rina, for very lightly putting across that I push people to do things to get my way done. Thank you so much. But as a president, I take that as an honor that even if I'm a taskmaster, I am able to make a difference in life of a few people.
Yes.
Now, today, since we do not have a speaker, we thought we will spend more time doing table topics. And we all love table topics, don't we? Because going back to another quote, we have heard this. It seems that Bruce Lee once said, "I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks, but I fear the man who has practiced that one kick 10,000 times." So practice makes every one of us better. And table topics is where we can practice, we can falter, we can get up, and then be better than ourselves. So today, I have chosen a theme, which is, I actually looked for, just before I do it, Lakshmi, the timing, I would want the whole table topics to be timed for 15 minutes, and let me know when we have run out of time. And for each speaker, it will be 1 to 2 minutes, like you said. All right. So let's start. Yes. So I have looked for, actually there were 22 motivational words for the year 22, and I have cut that into 2, and I've picked up 11 words for this session. We will continue some other day. So these are motivational words for 2022, and to make it easy, I have displayed what the theme is, and then we will go it so that there's no tension. There's no tension page up on which word to choose. Now, are you able to see my video fully? All right. Okay, so because we have very few members, I would want all of us to take part in it. So let's start with Prakash. Prakash, can you just pick a topic? I cannot hear Prakash. I see that Radhika has raised hand. That is a good gesture because then I can see it.
Okay, Radhika can go. I'll take
Yeah,
the second.
Radhika, you can pick the first one and then we will go to Prakash. If you're speaking, then you need to unmute, Radhika.
Okay, balance.
Balance. So Radhika has chosen balance. So your theme is balance. All right. Balance in life. If you've taken a look at the picture, I will stop my screen share. Toastmaster Radhika, the topic for today is balance.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arathi, fellow Toastmasters. Balance. Like balance, details or sanity. That is how it looks like. So work-life balance takes precedence in these times. So when I think about it,
Anyone else facing sound issues with Radhika?
Yes,
How
yes. There is some network, there is some connection problem. Do we start once
okay.
again? Do we
Yes.
start once again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So am I good now?
Yeah, you're good now, but
Maybe everyone
Can I
of us
come
can
back
turn off
later then? If the
let us give it, we can all stop our video.
videos, yeah. But then I'll have to show, I'll switch it
Yeah,
on
you
and
can-
I'll show the
yeah.
cards.
Yeah. All right, you may give it a try now.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Toastmaster Arathi, fellow Toastmasters. Thank you very much for this opportunity and the topic balance, the work-life balance, the digital balance, balancing everything that we have in our lives, like work, passion, family, our health. So the balancing act has come to the forefront, balance, mental well-being. So it is closely related and connected to our internal balance as well. So how are we looking at life, prioritizing things? And we all have 24 hours in life. So how do we balance take care of our health, our hobbies, our passion, vocation, everything? And I really like that image that Arathi has shown in the picture. This is the gender balance as I can see, in many ways. So equal balance, yin yang theory, yourself, or the Jekyll and Hyde model in your internal being, your mental balance. All that comes to your mind. So definitely balancing yourself, balancing your balancing thoughts, success for all of us. So wishing you all a very balanced life, achieving work-life balance, achieving well-being, other activities as well. So that is what I look for, and wish you all a very highly balanced and happy life. Thank you.
Thank you, Radhika. We did face a little bit of network issue, but I think we got the gist of what you were saying. You beautifully connected work-life balance. You beautifully connected the yin-yang picture and brought in gender balance and balance in everything that we do. I think that's a great message, and no wonder it is chosen as one of the 22 important themes for 2022, and you picked up something that is very dear to you. You have when it comes to gender equality, or when it becomes about balancing life. So that was a good and interesting talk. We missed some part of it, but I think we got the message, and if there is an opportunity, we will let you speak again. So who wants to go next? Sruthy? Yes.
Yes, Arathi, I can go next.
Yes.
Do I get to pick a topic
Yes,
here?
please. Yes, please pick one of them.
I would go with gratitude.
Gratitude. Gratitude changes attitudes, or gratitude changes everything. Gratitude. Your topic is gratitude. Toastmasters Sruthy, the topic for you is gratitude. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Table Topics Master, for that wonderful topic. Right now, my mind is full of gratitude. Do you know why? There are people in my life whom I have taken for granted. The moment I said taken for granted, whom all did you picture? Your mother, your father, your siblings, your best friends? Raise hand if you have taken for granted people in your life. I also relate to that. I do have my taken for granted people in my life. But the one person who has been with me through my difficult times, my happy times, the person I have never given a chance to appreciate is sitting right next to me, who is my husband. Let me just take a moment to change my settings and show him to you. Okay, I cannot do that. He's in another call, but this is that person. Can you say hi? Yeah, that is my husband. We met in college. You might be familiar with this story. We met in college, and it has been like almost 10 years. He has been with me. As I am into testing profession, and my husband is in development profession. So every time, whenever I am stuck with technical difficulties, I go to this person, but I never thank him because he's supposed to do that, right? He's my husband. He should do that for me. And whenever I have to go out, he takes care of my kid, and I never appreciate him enough. So I take this opportunity to appreciate and express my gratitude towards my better half, who is always there with me, supporting me. And he never sugarcoats things for me, unlike my friends. And that is why I hate him most of the time. He never sugarcoats. He just plainly does that, you are wrong. And I hate people when they say that. So that is one thing I hate and love about him. So I take this opportunity to feel blessed to recount my blessings in my life. Yeah, that's it from my side, and over to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Sruthy, for that live gratitude display. And we got a peek sneak at your husband who's working very hard. I don't know how you manage the audio balance when both of you are talking. So, well, that's nice. I think you should invite him as a guest once, and we will give him a table topic about how wonderful his wife is. All right. Now, who wants to go next? Lakshmi, do you want to try? I will time for you. Or someone else can time. Sruthy, can you time?
I'll
Definitely.
take towards the end. Towards the end, I'll do.
All right.
Yeah.
The end is not very far away, Lakshmi. Yeah, I think that is all. Rina anyway has spoken. Rina. Okay, I'll give Rina a chance. Okay. Next is Rina. You can pick a topic.
Courage.
Courage. I am courageous. Courage is knowing what not to fear. Fear and courage. So Rina, your topic is courage.
Yeah.
Toastmaster Rina on courage.
Yeah. So it takes a lot of courage to show up and become who you really are. It also takes a lot of courage to speak your mind or share your thoughts in an environment where the views are so diverse. And courage is all about taking calculated risks, knowing when to stop. And I believe courage comes, you have courage when you love someone so deeply that it drives all your decision making and your ability to do things. Thank you.
Short and sweet. I don't think the timer got a chance to show the cards, but that was a very deep insight into the word courage, because when we think of the word courage, we associate it with some scary situation, but you turn that into having the courage to stand up and speak for yourself. That is also requiring a lot of courage, not just the public speaking kind of fear, but making sure that you have an opinion and your opinion is voiced and somebody takes listens to it. So that also is a different take perspective on courage. Thank you so much. I think we have completed everyone one round. So Lakshmi, are you ready?
Absolutely, sure.
Yeah, you can turn
I'll
on
take
your
one.
video. Yes, and let's
I'll
wait.
Can I take a moment, Arathi, because I don't have the timer cards. Lakshmi, for your information, I will be showing this book for the green timing, this box for the yellow, and the pencil for the last one. Okay,
Because
please.
you have a blurred background, you might want to hold it in front of you, okay?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll be a very quick one for me. So you wouldn't have to take out all those.
Okay, so let me share. But you need to speak for at least 1 minute.
Yeah, I'll go with focus.
You will go with focus. Focus, my focus. Focus.
Yes.
Focus on things. So Toastmaster Lakshmi, focus. Focus, Toastmaster Lakshmi. Over to you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So this is one word I thought is the most relevant word, at least for the past 2 years. You know, we've been in the midst of a lot of whirlwinds, lot of tempests, and lot of joys as well. You know, during these pandemic times, not just tempests but also joys. And through all this, perhaps one word that I keep telling my son most of the time, the most important thing. You know, we all say it's not the genius that matters, but it's a focus that matters. The focus that you have when you walk through cloudy times, you know, that is what leads you to your destination, no matter what. So no matter what the chaos is around, this is that one thing that has led me forward. You know, at least I practice this consciously. Initially it was consciously, now it's become part of my habit that I walk looking at the final destination, whatever is happening around, right? COVID came and went. Before COVID, there were a lot of things in my life that, you know, went upside down. But all through that, you know, when I moved, starting with my career way back in 2005, from then, lots of tempests that I've crossed. But all through it, when I've fallen down, the reason I've gotten up is that focus right there in front of me. And, you know, usually I keep telling my son, you know, it's growing him up right to be a gentleman that has been my most overriding focus. So, you know, this is one thing that I keep telling him as well. So focus has been the most important thing that I practice, keeping my focus on and getting up every time I fall, because I've got to reach there. So that's my bit.
Thank you so much, Lakshmi. I think it's the first time I've heard you on table topics. You've been a long time away.
Yeah, it's
and
been
now,
a long time.
Yes,
Yeah.
I now know what we have missed, because you have shared an absolute pearl of wisdom. It's not the genius that matters, but the focus. I think that is a tip that we can all take away back. So whenever I have a change in my role and I get into a not so comfortable role, and I feel, at least for the initial period, that I am not up to it, this is not what I am good at, but the thought that, okay, you don't have to be an expert, you can be an expert on the way, but if you focus on what you want to do, you don't need to be a genius. Thank you for reiterating that absolutely great message, and I'm sure we're all quite happy with that. And great to know that you have harnessed the power of focus in your life, and that has helped you immensely. And I'm sure that anyone who has spoken today has chosen a word that is dear to their heart. It has unknowingly come out that they have chosen a personality linked trait that has so I'm glad. Is there, we can wind up now? Is yeah, Prakash, I'm sorry, you are ready. All right.
I raised hand at the wrong time.
You want to raise, you want to speak?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yes. Just a minute. Yes. Can you see?
Okay. Believe.
Believe. Believe. I believe.
Yeah.
So Toastmaster Prakash, your topic, believe. Believe by Toastmaster Prakash.
Believe. Yeah. So especially at this time, you know, we have all these negative news going on. So what we can focus on, like maybe Rina said, the power of intentions. What a beautiful message. The same way, the core idea behind that is also the belief that you have on yourself, or maybe something that you look upon to keep you in a particular direction, or maybe, you know, to go in a particular route. What you need is everything that we have said so far finally comes to a point where you need to believe in that. That's what finally conclude or converge everything into that point, whether it is about focus or whether it is about gratitude, or whether it is about balance, you need to believe in that aspect. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prakash. You have beautifully connected all the themes together and made a beautiful avial out of it, I would say. If you can call it in a very positive way, that you've taken messages from everything and taken it forward. Thank you so much. So I think we can wind up now, but before I wind up, I'm going back to the screen just once. And then sharing the thought process I had when I made this. If you look at powerful words for this year, think about these words and think about how they can bring in a difference in your life. What you need now is determination, a focus on what you do, clarity on what is required for you, what is not required. Remove the clutter, a presence of being in the here and now, enjoying it, and be very happy about your accomplishments and have a balance, the courage to face things, a belief in yourself, and over and above, be grateful for what you have. Like Sruthy said, sometimes we do not know what we are blessed with. And find joy in the small things and let your imagination run wild like a kid, because then your life would be worth the time that you have spent. With that, I wind up my table topic session and hand it back over to Rina. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arathi and Toastmaster Radhika for her diverse take on balance. It was brilliant. And Toastmaster Sruthy for taking a leaf from everyone else's book about gratitude. And Lakshmi, Toastmaster Lakshmi, it was very nice to hear you say that focus pulled you up every time you found yourself falling. I think most people can resonate with us. And finally, Toastmaster Prakash, thank you for that succinct perspective on belief. The role of belief, how it converges, how everything that we spoke about today converges to belief. And I want all the Toastmasters here today, I request you to harness those thoughts, those beliefs. Now I call upon Toastmaster Sruthy for her Young Evaluator report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rina. Let us start with the evaluation segment, which is the last one. Let us hear it from timer Lakshmi. Over to you, Toastmaster Lakshmi, for your report.
Okay, so on the time, the initial introduction that Toastmaster Arathi gave, it was for 1 minute and 50 seconds. Then we had Toastmaster Rina with the main introduction, which went on for 9 minutes and 55 seconds. We then went into the table topics. Toastmaster Radhika spoke on balance, and she spoke for 2 minutes and 21 seconds. Toastmaster Sruthy on gratitude, she spoke for 2 minutes and 4 seconds, and 2.04. Toastmaster Rina spoke for 30 seconds, and on mine, I'm not sure what that was. I suppose you would have it, Sruthy.
It was 2 minutes and 3 seconds.
2 minutes and 3 seconds. And then we had Toastmaster Prakash, who spoke for 1 minute and 2 seconds.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi, for that crisp report on timing of all the speakers today. Let us move on to our counter, Toastmaster Prakash. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sruthy. I initially started noting down the R's and then I think Toastmaster Rina's story basically made me start noting down the points that she was speaking about. So I completely forgot everything that I was supposed to do this role. Anyway, initially I picked up few R's and M's and Rina, Toastmaster Rina was she there were few hours initially. Then I completely lost into that story. And Arathi had a few and Lakshmi had one. And that's what I have. And I did not note down anything from the table topics as well, because everyone was talking really nicely. So that's my report. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prakash, for that heartfelt counter report. Moving on to my GE report, which will be a little bit clubbed with grammarian as well. So pardon me for that. Can we all please unmute and put our hands together for the fighter of the day, Toastmaster of the day, Rina Vivekanandan. Wonderful job, Rina. I don't know how you had the courage to come here and do this. I really don't know. Apart from the fact that she was doing it for the first time, she was with me. She almost called me every day to understand the flow of the meeting. And I don't know, despite of the fact that she was down with the health issue, she was continuously coughing. She couldn't, like, I don't know. So kudos to your courage and the wonderful speech that you gave today. It could well be your research topic, Rina. With such passion, with such a poised attitude, you explained about the power of intentions. And I thought I had a really different idea about when I heard the theme. I thought it was something different, but you put it forward like replacing our negative thoughts with positive ones. So hats off for bringing up such a powerful theme for the day. And the usage of words, my page is full. Okay, mundane, last but not the least, perpetual state of waiting, vicious circle, paradigm shifting, embarked, manifest. I need an encyclopedia. So wonderful word usages. She also used word of the day multiple times and encouraged everyone to use that. So neat attempt. The one thing I would recommend you to work upon is the timing. 9 minutes 55 seconds was a little bit stretched, so I would request if we could make a speech a little bit crisp and wind it up within 5 minutes. It would be great. That's the only improvement pointer I have for you. Moving on to our dear president and table topics master. What a lively session we had, don't you all think? How she came up with all those topics, relatable topics. And the moment initially there was reluctance from our members to participate, but the moment she shared her screen and we saw those topics, we wanted to volunteer. Radhika already raised her hand, and after that there was no lack of volunteers. That is something I loved to watch for the table topics. She appreciated each speaker. She even shared the takeaway message from each of the speeches today. So good job, Toastmaster Arathi, on the table topic session. She also had good word usages. She also used the word of the day. She brought in nice quotes for us to remember for. And I wonder why the quotes from Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. That is not her usual arena. So yeah, great that. And what else do I have? Yeah, about the session in general. Initially, there was this awkward silence and a little bit of nervousness on everyone, and I see that for most of our sessions. I don't know why this happens. During our we most of the role takers joined by 11:55 or so. We talk, we chit chat. But when the session starts, it's about to start, there is this silence, and maybe we are all into working upon a script or something. That is something I would want, including me, everyone to work upon to avoid that awkwardness. That is something. Then what else? I also have one more pointer for our sergeant at arms. We waited until 12:06. I would request the sergeant at arms to jump in, like time check, 12:05, can we start the meeting, rather than some other role players recommending for the, that's all. So overall, I loved the session. I loved the table topics, even though we didn't have a prepared speech. It was a nice session. So good job, everyone. That is my evaluation report for the day, and handing over the control to Toastmaster Rina. You're on mute, Rina.
Rina, unmute.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shruti, for your detailed evaluation. I'm literally horrified that it took 9 minutes. When I timed myself, it was 5 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm not sure what happened in between. Maybe I added more examples. Thank you for that feedback. I will work on it, the timing, and also thank you, Toastmaster Prakash, for the feedback on the ahs and the ums. And overall, it was a wonderful session. I feel well already. When I came into this session, I was actually feeling ill, and it was sheer courage that made me go through this process. However, now I feel very energized, especially seeing all the wonderful, the powerful words of 2022 and Arathi's description. She has introduced me to Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan, and I thank all of you for the wonderful session. I hand it over to Toastmaster Prakash. Thank you.
No, it's to President.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Rina. I join with General Evaluator Sruthy in congratulating Rina for the excellent job that she has done. You can see a difference in the way she has performed from a last role as a timer to a major leap into the MC of this whole program. So timer, she was fumbling with what to do. She said she could not manage two things at a time. She was timing, she could not write it down, etc. But look how well she has orchestrated this meeting, so much well coordinated. There's no glitch per se that anyone would have, if there was a guest, they would not have seen anything. They would not have understood that the agenda was changed at the last minute and this is not the usual flow. Excellently managed, and I'm sure it gives you confidence, Rina, to take up any role in any meeting. And that's the advantage that Toastmasters gives us. So if someone calls you for a meeting, for a role, for a speaking opportunity, we are well prepared. But the preparation, I am not very happy with the way our team is preparing. I think all of us needs to spend at least some time, at least in the weekend, to prepare for our next meeting, not just on the previous day or right, in fact, before the meeting, or in some of our cases, right during the meeting. All right. So let's get one. If there's one learning that we can take away from Toastmasters, it is that we will be well prepared, then we will forget it, then we'll come to the meeting really cool and then execute our role. So that is where I want all of us to be. And I think the challenges in IT field, that never happens. It is always burning the midnight oil that keeps us to the mark. And we are so tuned to it that planning is not part of our life. So let's make one change for that. Let's at least do our Toastmaster meeting planning well. And a great job by a VP Education to pull this together, motivating everyone. I could sense it with the confidence that Rina was exhibiting today. Wonderful. And so that's it from me. I officially declare the meeting adjourned. Thank you for attending this meeting. But before we go away, I would want to hear from Lakshmi on her experience, because she's joining back after a long break. So
oh, yes. I've been closely following all the meetings and all the the reports that come in, the video recordings that come in, Arathi, but then I've somehow not been able to attend the programs, essentially because of because of the role that I am in, that I'll have the planned training programs, and I somehow would not be able to attend meetings, especially on weekdays. And on weekends of late, it's been slightly of a mess in the personal side as well, with all the COVID and all those things happening. So that is the reason, but then I'm with my heart and soul, I'm completely aligned to all the things that we're doing. I closely follow that and try to, bring in my input. But then this has been coming back and being part of the session after a few months. It's been great. It's been so refreshing, connecting with you and seeing all the faces It's been wonderful. And Rina is the reason I'm here today. Rina called. I certainly could not say a no, and I thought I'll keep the rest everything off and I'll be here. Yeah, but then thanks Rina for making sure that I'm here today, and I'll try not to miss more sessions.
I think the best way to do it is to sign up for a role. Push yourself to sign up for a role.
Yes, I should.
That way you will block your time and then everything work around it. So
absolutely. Very soon I'll take up a role, TMOD role. I promise you. Yeah. I will.
Yeah, and we have speech also pending.
Lakshmi, actually, you are our star performer. You are our expectation to take our club to glory, especially in international in arenas where you have speech contest and all that.
Actually,
you already have it. Great storyteller, the wealth of words that she has, she can articulate everything so well. And we can learn, we look up to you when you are talking, we keenly listen. So, this is one opportunity for the club as well. Bring us glory.
You have inspired me thoroughly, like no one else could.
Very good, very good. All right, Manu, thank you for joining back. I know you had a meeting, you jumped out and then you came back.
It finished before 30 minutes, so I thought I'll join back.
Very good, very good. All right. All right then, team, that's it. We will meet again. Who's the next TMOD, Sruthy?
I just asked Lakshmi in WhatsApp. I don't know if not. If not, Lakshmi. Can you?
Yeah, next session, when would that happen? Would that